We have more on those stories plus others in this half hour of Business News. My name is Darryl Carl. Thanks for being with us tonight. The Energy Ministry is insisting that the proposed electricity tariffs reduction would not impact negatively on the sector. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta in the 2018 budget disclosed that government would be asking the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission to consider reducing electricity tariffs between 11 and 21%, depending on the consumption patterns of users. This has not gone down well with the minority in Parliament, who claim this would affect power generation in the country. But the Deputy Minister for Energy, Joseph Kujo, disagrees.
The focus of this government, first and foremost, is to grow the economy, create jobs. So any thinking, innovative in nature, is directed at that, just like the tariff reduction proposal. What has happened is that we met power purchase agreements signed and contracts. So we had contractual obligations to take power from independent power producers at agreed tariffs existing. What we've done, believing they were high, and this is informed belief, we have engaged the contract holders, that's the independent power producers, we have engaged them out of goodwill. They've given concessions. Now, as to whether PURC will approve or not, PURC listens to the sellers in this case, independent power producers. They make a case to PURC and say, I have capital recovery of this, I have operation and maintenance cost of this, I have fuel projected fuel consumption of this, I have this efficiency. They present this to PURC, and PURC, looking at their case, approves a tariff for them. So if we, the President, lead them in this charge through his Minister of Energy, comes to sit down with the independent power producers to make a case to them, and they agree that they will look at the capital recovery, they will look at O&M costs, they will look at the various components, and indeed you have reached that agreement with them, then how would you want PURC to behave?
Meanwhile, energy expert and executive director
I must say, listening to what the Deputy Minister said, if it's an agreement between the power producers to reduce what has been agreed on in their power purchase agreements, then that also takes away some of my worries, because then it's not going to be a subsidy, but then somebody has agreed not to charge what they already charging. But I think it's important that government makes it clear that they cannot, or it's important we let government understand that they cannot change tariffs once it's approved by PURC. And I believe the government itself will never want to introduce subsidies into a sector that we're already struggling to clear 2.4 billion debt that is already hanging around our necks, and we've just issued bonds. So if it's not going to be subsidy, and it's as a result of a realization that the cost of generation has come down mainly because probably we have more gas, then I'm a consumer at the end of the day, I should be happy. But if it's just like giving me some relief which I'm going to have to pay for it later on, then I think we shouldn't be excited about that. We should all make sure that the reduction is coming about as a result of reduction in power, cost of generating power, and not a subsidy or not an administrative or executive fiat coming from the Flagstaff House.
Well, Joy Business has been speaking to some people within the printing industry with regard to the reduction in electricity tariff and what impact this would have on their businesses. They are optimistic the current development will inure to their benefit and are looking forward to a booming business in 2018.
As a business person, I feel it's a good news for us, the business environment, because as young people who are starting up, tariffs is one of the major things that takes part of our income. So if we have tariffs being reduced for us, I believe that it would help us a great deal in our kind of business, because currently our tariffs are so high, so high, and that is what is killing us. Currently, the shop that I'm running, I pay nothing less than 1,000 cedis a month, and as a young graduate who is doing business, it's a bit hectic for me because I have people that I'm paying. So if you are paying electricity bill of 1,000 cedis, you should imagine what is affecting my income. So it's quite huge currently. I'll be happy if it really goes down for us. I think it would crave in more inroads for me. It means that I will be paying less bills, which means I would have more money with me that I can plow back into my business, expand, and be able to bring people on board. And that is what we are all looking out for, to be able to expand our businesses and then make sure that we employ people as well. So looking forward, I think that if we have the tariffs being reduced for us, it would help us, the young business people, expand our business and be able to employ other people as well.
You see, some of these things, we've heard it over and over again, and some of us in the private media, this is what we are praying for, that it should happen. And as I pray, it's my prayer that it comes to visibility, that we in the private sector can feel it. Over and over again, we've heard some of these things, and sometimes, it's going to be reduced. At the end of the day, it's not reduced, and it will just be a talk show. But I pray that this one comes to reality. I won't lie to you. I'll just pay 550 Ghana cedis a month, which I believe is a bit too much. Yeah, when you calculate it divided by 30 a day, how much I'm consuming. I only do photocopy and secretarial service. That's all that I do. And I'm paying 550 Ghana cedis a month, which I believe is too much. So if it's come down, it will help me. Then I can save some money and pay salary.
So what's the impact of this reduction on your business?
It's going to improve. It's going to improve the business. If it should go as we think it should go, it's going to improve the business. I believe it's going to improve the business if it should go that way. In 2018, I'm looking at if the PURC, right? Yeah, if they are able to, you see, in this country, if everyone is able to do his job, trust me, all of us will enjoy well. But the thing is, government will play his part. Maybe PRC will not play his part. That's the thing. Government will play his part, all right, but PURC will not play their part. So government should hold those officers accountable to the people, because the people hold the power. We hold the power. The private sector is pushing government. So if government is saying that yes, it's making things visible for us, the PRC should also do it flexible so that all of us will be flexible. Then at the end of the day, 2018, trust me, business will boom and everything will be well with us.
Well, away from that, the Ghana Investment and Promotion Center, JIPC, is championing job creation under the industrialization agenda, the upcoming Club 100 Awards. The ceremony, which comes off on the 30th of this month, seeks to award 100 leading companies in the various sectors of the economy. Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Yofi Grant, has been speaking to Joy Business ahead of this year's Club 100 Awards to be held in Accra.
As government continues to strengthen policies to support its industrialization agenda, the Ghana Investment Promotion Center is soliciting support for the agenda and for this year's Ghana Club 100 Awards. Under the theme, Industrialization, a Tool for Job Creation and Accelerated Economic Development, the GIPC hopes to channel more efforts of indigenous firms to engage in manufacturing. Yofi Grant is the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center.
This year's theme is industrialization, a tool for job creation and employment creation in the economy. Of course, we all know about the, what I would say, the dynamic policy initiative of One District, One Factory, and how it will democratize the economy and create jobs all over the country. We think that industrialization is the quickest way to bring in wealth to our people in the country. And of course, the president is very clear that the structure of the economy needs to change. From one of which is only about the export of raw materials and resources to one of value added and processing, which we believe will bring greater value to our economy and our exports and wealth to our people.
Launched in 1998, this year will be the 16th edition of the Club 100 Awards.
Well, speak of industrialization, and the AGI Industrial Summit and Exhibition entered day 2 today. Several industry players have been exploring best ways to benefit from government's industrialization agenda. The Ghana Industrial Summit and Exhibition is aimed at linking foreign industrialists with local entrepreneurs. Here's more in the following report.
As you can see behind me, several exhibitors have displayed their goods and services as, they cash into the benefits of today's program. It's not just today, it started yesterday actually. It's a 3-day event which is going to be seeing the local industrial players converge and meet up with the, foreign ones as they find out the best practices that they could adopt, especially as government restarts its industrialization agenda. The AGI Industrial Summit and Exhibition has brought several local players in the manufacturing sector. At day 2 of the event, exhibitors expressed general satisfaction over AGI's resolve to link local industries with foreign ones to boost their productivity.
This is actually my first time of attending an AGI exhibition, and I'm very impressed because we have around especially heads of institutions, CEOs coming around, and since most of them are the decision makers.
I'm very happy that AGI has done this summit because they are encouraging made in Ghana goods, and I hope they continue doing this.
It has exposed us to the public more as we are in Kumasi, and Accra people also have to, the whole Ghana should also know us.
The summit is offering us a large range of opportunities where we can meet our stakeholders, discuss with them on issues of nuclear, why nuclear is important, why there's a need for us to include nuclear into our mix.
It has given us a platform to market our products and services. Yes, so far I've met clients from different companies trying to talk to them about our products.
Joy Business caught up with the Director of Business Management at the AGI, Johnson Opoku-Boateng, on some key lessons local businesses have picked up from the event.
We've had the local content conference and exhibition for the past 5 years. This year we decided to move a bit, just stretch it, and increase the capacity. And that is why we're having the Ghana Industrial Summit and Exhibition, which is actually kind of the expansion of the local content conferences and exhibition. We have a lot of exhibitors here because we reached out to them and then made them understand that, the government's flagship 1D1F, One District, One Factory initiative has come to stay, okay? And AGI is fully supporting this initiative. We want to actually collaborate with the government through the Ministry of Trade and Industry. In the actual fact, the Ministry of Trade and Industry is our collaborator, our first collaborator in this. And I must say that the Minister, the Honourable Minister, Alan Shomatia, has been very, very supportive and helped us throughout the program. Yesterday, as we witnessed, the Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry was here. That is the Honourable Robert Ahonka-Lindsay. Just to shed more light on the agenda going forward. And we are trying to bring all the businesses in Ghana together to let them know that this is a flagship program that we can tie into and grow small businesses into medium businesses and medium businesses into large enterprises. And the agenda is to ensure that we create jobs. Okay, so if we can have businesses employing more than 1,000 1,000, you can imagine what that would mean for the teeming graduates who complete school and they are not having jobs to do. So in a nutshell, we are trying to drive or help government drive the 1D 1F agenda by pulling in all these stakeholders. And I know the theme for this summit is boosting Ghanaian industrial growth through global partnerships. And that is why probably as we have our chit chat, you'll get to know the foreign interest that came in to support this particular program. Yeah.
Speaking of the foreign interest, we do know that the Catalonia Trade and Investments has also, expressed interest so far. But help us understand the key issues that have, popped up in wake of this very event today, and of course that of yesterday as well.
Okay, so basically SMEs would want to know more about the 1D 1F project and how they can benefit, out of that. Questions are ranging from how we're going to be financing this 1D 1F, and the AGI has actually spearheaded this 2 billion Chinese loan, the facility that we've talked about so far, and going forward, what is going to happen into the next year. Yesterday's budget actually was a budget that actually moved the discussion further, as to how we're going to be rolling this one out into the coming year. For businesses and as you go across, the point is that they need an enabling environment to actually grow, all right? And I have said that coming for exhibitions like this, you shouldn't be looking at primary sales per se, but you should be looking at the medium term and then long term, and that is why the foreign participants are here.
The 3-day event is in collaboration with the Catalonia Trade and Investment Center. In other news tonight, British High Commissioner to Ghana, Ian Walker, has promised to revive trade between Ghana and the UK. This, according to him, has become crucial because trade between the two countries has dropped by 30% over the years. Mr. Walker says the Commission will do everything within its power to reverse the trend. He said this when he paid a working visit to Ibis Tech, a wholly Ghanaian company seeking to construct a multi-million-dollar container terminal project at the Takoradi Port. Western Regional Correspondent Francis Waja was there and reports.
Ibis Tech, operators of the newly built Takoradi Container Terminal, Takotel, have now been given the green light to operate a $422 million container terminal at the Takoradi Port with funding from the African Development Bank. The decision to give the company the green light follows the successful construction of the Takoradi Container Terminal, which will solely be used for devanning purposes or on stuffing of imported containers, separating it from the main port. The High Commissioner says he is seeking for ways to partner in the possible construction of the new container terminal at the main port and the provision of expertise from the UK.
We want to work with Ghana. We are long-term partners of Ghana, and here in Takoradi you see a long UK-Ghana history actually, where the Brits were involved in the initial development of the port, the initial work on the rail. And I think for me, we talk often about the common values, the common interests that Ghana and the UK have had for decades. In fact, 60 years of independence this year, we've talked about it a lot. I'm really keen we talk about the next 60 years, and as we look towards the next 60 years, it's about how we work together, trade together, invest in each other's economy and bring mutual prosperity to each other's countries. So my view is that growth is good, and it's exactly what we want to kind of help support companies here do, growing employment here and growing future opportunities for Ghana. Trade is down 30% from 2012 to 2015. That's driven by many factors, but I say it's really important that we don't take each other for granted. We are old friends, we are old allies. I want us to make sure that we are friends and allies for the long term into the future on things that really matter for Ghana and for the people of Ghana, and things that matter to the UK as the UK itself goes through change itself. So I think it's about focusing on the future and not just the past.
One of the directors of the company, lawyer Kwame Jan, says they are also hopeful of a Ghana-UK partnership.
And we are looking at the possibilities of British firms partnering with us in the construction, and more particularly partnering with us in the supply of equipment for the facility. The on-dock operations, the waterfront operations require much heavier equipment than what we have in the ICD. We are talking about mobile harbour cranes, ship-to-shore cranes, gantry cranes. Those are big equipment. and the possibility of partnering with the UK firms and the possibility of getting UK financial support through UKF, where the equipment are sourced from the UK, when they have UK origin, minimizes our exposure in terms of our fundraising opportunities. So we are looking forward to very fruitful partnership. And for us, it is a privilege to host the British High Commissioner to Ghana and the British Trade Envoy to Ghana. So for us, it's an endorsement. We see it as an endorsement, a recognition that Abistec Takutel, we are making some impact in this container business.
Prime Minister's trade envoy to Ghana, Adam Afriye, also lauded Ghana's decision to go paperless at the country's ports. He said this is a move that will erase bottlenecks and boost trade.
And one of the barriers that there is to trade is if it's difficult to get goods, as Ghanaians you will know this, if it's difficult to get goods in and out of customs, in and out of the country.
Turning to the banking sector, where First Atlantic Bank has expressed its readiness to meet the new Bank of Ghana minimum capital requirement before the 2018 deadline. The central bank has increased the minimum capital requirement from the initial 120 million Ghana cedis to 400 million Ghana cedis. Now, speaking at the opening of a new branch at the Dankwa Circle in Accra, the board chairman of the bank, Kwamina Bartels, advocated more investments in the current friendly business environment.
The new branch by First Atlantic Bank will also serve as the secondary headquarters of the bank. It is expected to serve customers within the location and beyond. In an address, the board chairman of the bank, Akiyomi Thanos, said as the bank continues to expand, it is in the process of meeting the new capital requirement set by the central bank before the end of the year.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I will take this opportunity to reassure you that our bank, First Atlantic Bank, is well advanced in its plans to raise even more capital. And we assure you that we are here to stay. We are confident in our strategic recapitalization roadmap, which will yield the needed results, we believe, well before the December 2018 deadline set by the Bank of Ghana.
Board chair of Indigenous Oil Marketing Company, GWEL, Kwamina Bartels, encouraged more investment in the current business-friendly environment.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there is no better time than now to be doing business in Ghana. And I encourage you to take advantage of the prevailing economic environment and further grow your businesses so you can continue to provide opportunities for the young people of this country.
The new branch brings the total number of First Atlantic banks to 30.
Time to bring you our interview of the day, and while CEO of newly merged entity Airtel Tigo has been speaking, she's been assuring customers of quality voice and data services. Roshi Mortman spoke to Joy FM's morning show host Kojo Yankson.
Thank you for seeing us, Roshi. It's nice to see you again.
Thank you, Kojo, for coming.
So finally, you settled on Airtel Tigo, right?
Yes.
Talk to us. I'm sure quite a few meetings went into that decision. Why Airtel Tigo?
Yes. So you see, Kojo, the main focus for this business is our customers. And as you know, we have had customers that has been with us for 25 years. And now we have almost 10 million customers, and we want to take care of every single one of them and lead them through this transition in a very, very seamless way. Actually, the idea is that even if you as a customer do not know that this is now a merger that is happening, you should not be, disturbed in any way at all. the customers for now, both on Airtel and Tigo, what I want to say to them is that you can just sit back, relax, enjoy the ride. And the ride, the excitement around that is the benefits that we will see in the coming months, which will be expanded network footprint, expanded footprint in terms of customer touch points. For instance, Airtel and Tigo Money, and number of stores, a very big expansion project that is going to happen in the next few months. And that is really, I believe, the biggest benefit for the customers. I mean, it would be lovely for a customer to wake up one day to a message that says, congratulations, Kojo. Today you don't only have access to the cell sites of Tigo, but also Airtel. So it's an idea of benefits and delights and excitement for the customers, rather than asking customers to do any effort or being in a tough spot. So relax, calm down, you don't need to do anything, you don't need to change your SIMs, just relax, keep it there, and continue to enjoy your services and enjoy new excitements coming in the few months coming.
So I guess that was the thinking behind keeping both names in the new company name, just so there isn't too much more to get used to?
Seamless, right? I believe that, I mean, it's a transition. So you never know, and brands are living organisms, right? You can sometimes see that, you know, even brands that are killed, when you do research, you see that they are actually alive in the hearts and minds of consumers. So for us now, because we have so many customers, both on Airtel and Tigo, and we want to take care of that, and we want this to be a seamless process, this is how we have chosen to go about it. And you never know in the future, but it's the customers who will tell us when they are ready for us to make a change.
Wonderful. So you've talked a lot about all the processes that have to take place for this integration to happen. Have you started actual integration with two companies?
Yes, we have started. So as you rightly mentioned, it's two giant companies merging. So there is a lot of work to do in terms of different work streams to really merge.
And that's it for Business Live tonight. My name is Daryl Kwao. We are back same time tomorrow. Stay with us.